Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next exciting episode of.
Baka, doing it live.
There you go. There you go. See, that's the kind of energy I was looking for. Right before we hit record, you should have heard stuff. Yeah, I'm calling you out right now, while we're rolling.
I like to point out that it's sleepy stuff hours.
It's always sleepy Steph hours.
Exactly.
Steph is now a cat, apparently.
No, I'm an old lady. I'm up there with like gotta be in bed at 9 o'clock.
See, I never got that because like my nana, my mom's mom, because my grandparents lived really close to us growing up.
Mhm.
She would like stay up until like 11 because she really liked to watch the X Files. Because I honestly think she's like the stories are really good. I honestly think Nana just had a thing for David Duchovny, but
Wouldn't you?
I mean, a little of column A, a little of column B.
Little column B. Yeah.
The truth is out there or in there.
Yeah.
There you go. The magic of editing. I paused, but my partner was talking in my ear, but that's okay. For you audio only people, you won't know what happened, and good. These are Easter eggs only for the video people. You're not paused anymore, Steph. And I'm leaving that in there. I'm leaving that in there. Not only that, I think I found our thumbnail.
No, don't do this to me.
Sorry. I gotta punish the old ladies that don't stay up to watch their X Files. Oh, oh. Anyway, and on that delightful note, let's go to our next segment, real life recap. Let's catch up on what we were doing. What did
You
you?
go first.
Oh well, shoot. Okay,
I'm too. I'm still trying to calm down from the laughter.
I can do that. I can do that. Okay, so since we last had our nice little fireside chat here, I started streaming again Tuesday nights. Yay! You can find me on Discord as the Ministry of Ennui Control. I'm not going to spell that for y'all. It's in the link is in the description. So learn some things, people. No, I'm replaying one of my favorite modern day puzzle games, The Witness. I mean, I streamed last night. If for y'all are knowing, we're recording this on the 16th of September, which is a Wednesday. So I streamed last night, and my audience lacked a Steph. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Uh,
The
uh,
silence is deafening.
Silence is very deafening because last night I was hanging out with my wife, or like, it's not like my legal wife, it's just my best friend that we've been best friends for so long that we call each other wifey. I was hanging out with her, but I now have you as hosting. Like,
Ah,
anytime you stream, my Twitch should be hosting you.
I guess that's an acceptable answer. I guess.
Oh,
But yeah, no. So funny enough, the first time I played The Witness, it took me like the puzzles are great. For those who have never played it, or if puzzle games aren't your jam, it's a very beautiful overworld with a bunch of sliding line puzzles over it. Okay, and I know that sounds like really. It's not very deep, but then they shove a bunch of pretentious quotes from different astronauts and scholars and theologians in there, which again is my jam. But some people are like, "Yeah, this is a little. We're getting into highbrow art game territory," which I don't believe. I just think it's a beautiful game, and even if you don't get anything out of the quotes, because see the quotes slyly give you clues on how to solve the puzzles.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Watch me still fail the puzzles.
Hey, there's no time limit. at all.
Okay.
You can do all. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. All well ish. There's one major timed puzzle that you don't need to beat the game, but
Hmm.
you have to beat it to get like the completionist ending.
Oh no, don't tell me that. Murder by Numbers already torments me when it has the timed puzzles, and I'm there like, fuck.
And it is a the game is a great how did my sister put it? It's a great way to train your memory. Okay, so all these you have the different sliding puzzles. Um, they start off with here's you start here, find the exit like a maze, right? And then it's okay, now find the exit while touching colored dots along the way. You know, kind of like
Mhm.
Snake or Pac-Man, whatever. And then you
Yeah.
have some that are like, well, there's two entries and two exits, and the computer is going to mirror your moves on another side, right?
Okay.
But then you do that one for a while, you do a couple of those for a while, and it's like, okay, now it's going to mirror your move, but it's not going to show you the other side. So like you have to mentally figure out where that other side is going while you
So weird.
yeah, yeah. But there's a few puzzles that are very relaxing. I want to use the word relaxing. So you do the slidey puzzle, right? And it opens up a gate. And now you're in a hedge maze that matches the puzzle you just did. So you have to remember the solution that you just did and walk through the
Oh
maze.
no. Nope. Nope. No. You're just giving me like Professor Layton trauma over here.
And what's wrong with Professor Layton?
There is nothing wrong with Professor Layton. Absolutely nothing wrong. But you know how you said earlier that the poem or like the wording gives you a clue
Yes.
to that puzzle? Diabolical box you have to blow to open the
Mhm.
puzzle. I can't tell you how long I was like, do I just blow? And I just into my like DS like, oh yeah. And then it moved and I was like, we're never talking about this ever again. And here we are talking about it.
I mean So what you're saying is later on I should totally send you a code to play the witness.
I won't turn it down, but my stream schedule is like Wednesdays is Clinad for Feels, and it's already starting to put me on Feels, and then I think Sundays is kind of Persona Day, kind of
Yay.
maybe.
And we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
That's a good segue though. But yeah, so the final it's called the challenge. That last puzzle, that's a timed puzzle. It is a very long. It's a slide puzzle that has all of the elements of all of the puzzles that you've learned throughout the game, right? So it's your final exam of class, so to speak. And when you finish it, a door unlocks, and you open the door, and it's just that. Now it's a cave that is in the shape of that puzzle. And you have to go through the maze remembering what you just did. And every time you play the game, all of the puzzles are the same except for that one. That one is always random. There's always a way to beat it, but that one's always random.
No. But that sounds fun. But no.
And just the icing on the cake, the to
Hmm.
start the puzzle you have to start a record player in the cave where the puzzle is, right? And it plays
Okay.
in the Hall of the Mountain King. Bum 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 bum
Bum
bum
bum bum
bum bum
bum
bum
bum
bum.
bum 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 bum.
Yeah, and
I
it's
hope you know that is going to be like my morning hype me up now.
well that's actually the exact recording that they play because it's the piece. I always forget the piece that's what's called before that piece in the piece of music. It starts off and it's very soft and nice. Anyway, those two pieces, that's how long you have to solve the puzzle. Okay,
Oh
so
no.
I have that now as my morning alarm. So I normally wake up on the first soft part. But if I start hearing bump 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 bump,
Bum,
I know,
bum,
oh
bum,
shit,
bum.
I need to get my ass up and in clothes and out the door like now. Thank you, witness. a puzzle game that's still lighting a fire into my ass.
I came across a weird shower thought that it's like whatever alarm you have, that's your opening theme.
There you go. Melissa just told me it's Anitra's Dance. That's the piece of music that plays before in the hallway.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But no, say that one more time for me.
So it's a weird shower thought of like whatever alarm or whatever first thing you wake up to, that is your opening song.
Okay, I can dig that. For a while there, I had the I don't even know what the piece of music called. The piece of music's called, but it was the old '70s like Monday Night Football. The bum 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 bottom bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I jump out of bed and like, ah, we're gonna annihilate this day.
yes.
But after a while, that got tiring. Anyway, so I'm doing that. So yeah, watch me on Tuesdays. Play the Witness. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because we live in 2020 and the time of COVID and the economy's terrible and everything's on fire. I had to sell my I had a Surface Pro as my main laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the thing to death. It is a great computer. If you're all looking for like a sub portable Surface Pro, really awesome. I had a client that's like, I need a laptop yesterday. Our main laptop died. They offered me a sum of money for it that I couldn't refuse. I sold it to
Okay.
them, and then like 2 days later, like the carpenter that sells their tools to pay the bills, I'm like, crap, I need a laptop. I didn't think this all the way through. I can do a lot of my work on my phone, but not everything. So I bought myself a cheaper Dell Ultrabook, which is it's fine. It does everything I need it to do. That's like 5 years
But
old. No buts. It's just that's another thing I've been doing since last episode, getting that ready, covering it in stickers for all of you people watching us. You can see all the beautiful stickers on there. My thigh high and lo-fi sticker, my Nani the fuck sticker, um, and also you'll see these great two Madoka stickers, and that gives my segue into my final part of this. Our good friend at Minute Maid Cosplay has been putting out pins and stickers, and I
yeah,
got their first. I got their first pin that they designed, which is the Madoka one right here to the left of the. I mean, I can't describe it to our audio only peeps. You'll just have to go to the website and look. But if you want to see any of them, they are on Instagram at Minute Maid DES. That's for design. I think their cosplay page is Minute Maid COS. That makes sense.
um,
I could be wrong, but
while you're talking about it, I'll find out.
yeah. So yeah, they put the Madoka ones out, and like in 3 days, they hit they're doing it via Kickstarter. And once they hit that, they're already putting out Sailor Moon pins and Inuyasha pins. Inuyasha Kagome. But yeah, the pins, don't let the size fool you. On my picture, it's very small. These are all 2-post pins. I actually thought it was a single post pin because most of my friends that started doing pins always start with a single post and then work their way up. But Andy is a professional, so go check out their pins and stickers. And that's about it for me.
Um,
We can segue into your Sundays. What's Steph streaming on Sundays?
so originally was Persona 5, but um, someone was so gracious to let me borrow their Persona 5 Royale. And because my chat was also very angry with me, like, why aren't you doing Royale? Why aren't you doing Royale? Surprise! I'm now doing Royale.
Boom!
Um,
Looking cool, Joker. Sorry.
yeah. Let's. So for you camera only folks, I'm sorry, we're about to go on a little bit of a trip.
Oh, let me put you on. There you go. Camera's on.
So last time I mentioned I'm working on Kakuin. Let's see.
There we go.
I'm in this awkward phase where I'm trying to get the right colors. Oh, there we go. So that's kind of how he's turning out right now.
Very
So I need
nice.
good vibes. So I don't take myself going crazy. Be like, it's not the right shade. It would be fantastic.
Here, I'll throw us back to our static picture so people can see it in the bottom right.
Okay,
There you go.
good. Okay, good. Here we go. Minute Maid Cos is Andy's cosplay page.
Yes. Minute
And
Maid Des is their design page.
yes. So that way y'all can tell the difference. Andy makes these fantastic masks. You should check them out in case you're needing a new mask. They mentioned that they were going to an Enchicon, or they were supposed to, and they have these Akihago masks.
They had these Ahihago masks.
Did you buy them out? Because I
No,
haven't
I
paid.
didn't because they already sold out. I didn't see their post. I didn't even know about their post because I worked so much today. And our good friend Joseph was like, "Hey, I bought one of those masks from Andy. I'm surprised you didn't tell me." And I was like, "What do you mean? I've bought plenty of masks from Andy." And then they showed me the post, and then I hit them up online, and they're like, "I sold out like 4 hours ago."
Oh my gosh, I haven't paid yet. Like, I still hope I can get one. Oh
Womp
shit.
womp.
And I messaged early in the day. I think I saw that and I was like, let's go for it. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh.
I'm sure it'll be fine. So for people, some inside baseball, Andy and Minute Maid Cosplay is actually the president of MizumiCon. They were the cosplay director, and when I stepped down this past year, they got voted in by the board. So now, if when you see them running around MizumiCon, it's not just because everything's on fire because of cosplay. It's because everything's on fire. No, no, no. If you hear that laughing in the background, yes.
It's because everything's on fire.
I mean, forever. And still playing Murder by Numbers.
I am still playing Murder by Numbers. I am now like, I think a C rank. I went up a rank and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to yeet the switch because I refuse to use a hint coin on this last case. I like absolutely refuse. So I will get almost done. Something's not right, and I'm like, close up, retry again, and I get myself very frustrated. So I'm still playing Murder by Numbers. I'm still in Final Fantasy. Um,
What level are you at now, or what are you maining now?
I am a black mage mainly because black mage I've gone through that grind. So
And you
being
hate
a black
yourself. I mean,
no, I love black mage. I was gonna say that she's being a black mage is like because I've had to go through that grind, like special place in my heart. White mage, and then I think there's something funny about a little potato because I play a Lalafell.
Lalafell, Lala, FBI, open up.
A Lala being the tank,
I can see that.
especially when as directionally challenged as me.
So you saw the new mount, right? The newest mount, which is an actual tank. So you could actually be a tank in a tank as a Lala.
So are we trying to do Girls Last Adventure?
Yes. Or Girls und Panzer, yeah.
Yes.
And what's funny too is the tank scales. So the Lala tank is a tiny tank.
No, don't tell me this. Oh my
So you have
god.
the, I always forget what they're called, the rabbit race, which are super tall. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they have this like giant like howitzer. And then you have the little Lala going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
And then you have me who's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna break your knees.
Pew pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh man, that's
Yeah, so I love Black Mage. I anyone who says that they're hating on Black Mage, I'm sorry. I have found my way.
I always hate on black maids, but I mean, I started off as a white mage, so that's how you do.
Mhm.
That's what you do. Funny story. I had a friend. This happened a while back. Uh,
Mhm.
I felt so bad for them. They finally got to level 80 for their black mage, right?
Mhm.
And they're like super excited. And they went to bed and they're like, in the morning, I'm going to post about it. And they went on Twitter and they saw that hashtag BLM was trending. And they're like, oh shit, what they drop for a black mage? And obviously, that's not what people on Twitter were talking about. And then he's like, I can't share anything about my black maids now, or I'll look like complete dick. So, womp womp.
Womp womp. Yeah. Uh.
I think he ended up like posting a picture of his character and being like, "Look at my cool new armor, guys, for this class." Yeah.
Yeah. I find enjoyment of like being like Maru the Gray because black mage, white mage.
Right.
Um. I'm still reading Overlord, but with Overlord, I'm in this weird mindset because I don't have the next volume, but I have several volumes down. Like
I
I think
get you.
I'm on 5. I think I need 6, but I have 9, 10, and 11. I want to say. So there's just that I don't have money at the moment to buy the next volume.
So shameless plug. We both have a coffee account on the website. You can go to Baka Live and donate to Steph's manga fund.
Donate to stuff. Get snacks, please.
Yes.
I actually just
Buy a
updated that.
snack for a snack.
A no, I actually updated that on my Twitter. No, not my Twitter, my Twitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna put that there and
Just in case, a little,
just yeah.
little self promo. Never hurt nobody.
um, y'all aren't obligated or anything. It's just one of those that I love Overlord's world building that I actually like physically reading it. I have a Kindle reader. It's just my conspiracy theory mind of like I have to actually own it because then you can't take it away from me. It's a lot harder to take it away from me
Preach,
if I
sister.
physically. Yes. So, however way you want to read your mangas, your light novels, that's on you. There are certain series that I like to have the physical copy versus the digital copy.
I was actually that way, and it took me forever to find them all because it's been out of print for a while. But I think I went to a garage sale years ago, and I found the first 5 volumes of Doctor Slump, and
Uh,
I love Doctor Slump, and then I found like 12 through 15 or something, and it took me forever and a day to find the middle ones.
I wish you would have told me. I had Doctor Slump at one point in my possession. I don't know if I've swapped it out or if I've just given it away.
It's fine. I mean, like I said, half the fun's the hunt too. I think I got all of them by hitting up almost every like half price book between here and the DFW area.
It's okay. I can't say anything. The original Fruits Basket, so the Tokyo Pop one,
Hmm.
I'm in process of collecting the whole series. I'm 17, 16.
Okay.
So if y'all are looking for a gift to give me as random, I will never turn down Fruits Baskets.
Again, as Steph said, nothing is required, but if you believe yourself to be a good person, you'll donate.
So I feel you on hitting the half price because I think it's not the one UTSA area. I think it's the Bandera one that I was just like in a mood and I found a good collection. I was like, these are coming home with me. It's like, but you won't have boba money later. No, no, no. These are coming home with me and I'm still getting boba. I just will have to eat ramen for the next little bit. That's how this
That's
works.
that's how that works, and this is why we're fam.
Hmm.
For a while there, I bought. This is way back when. I want to say this was about 15 years ago or so. I went to an arcade auction. One of the arcades in Austin's went out of business, and
Hmm.
they're auctioning off the machines and the boards and whatnot. And I love shoot 'em ups. I love shmups. Like,
Okay.
yes. And they had an imported Cave. Cave makes the best shoot 'em ups, like the hardest ones. I like, bullet hells all the way. And they had this board, and it was new in the box, and everything. And I've only played those games via emulation. I'm like, no, 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 I want this. And in my
Okay.
head, I did the math. How many days of eating canned food and ramen will it take to pay for this? Some back of the napkin math. Do 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 do. It's not the best weight loss program, but
It exists.
it exists. And boom, yes, and I have that in my office in the middle room.
Proud of yourself.
I am. I am. Now, what is Steph doing on camera?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Just ignore the clickety clacks.
So I'm going to throw in some topical news that will get us into our next segment. Um,
Okay.
but if you listen to our last episode and we were talking about our anime lists and whatnot, and you could hear me drone on and on about the good old days and classic anime, that the Chris list is the classic anime list.
Mm-hmm.
Discotech just stated that they're re-releasing a remastered version of Project A-ko, which is like one of my favorite old anime. And I squeed so loud, I'm not going to lie.
Is that why I heard that high pitched sound all the way over here?
You did. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's crazy about this is Project A-ko, and there's a few other, not Writing Bean, the Right Stuff reintroduced like a couple years ago, but
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they did. They had to find a way to like scan in the only like quote unquote rip of Project A-ko was like the original VHS copies that aren't going to scale obviously to HD.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, so old anime, that brings us back to part 2 of then and now and the change in the otaku landscape.
Mhm. So, because it's definitely changed, I can tell you that, and it doesn't feel like it's changed until you take a step back and notice how much it's changed.
We are old tacos here. That's what the
We
kids
are.
that's what the kids call us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dang kids, get off my lawn.
Yes.
Yeah, like nowadays, I think we were talking about digital distribution now
Mhm.
of anime and of manga even. Like, what the hey? That was a pipe dream at best back when I first got into the fandom. We were still buying bootlegged subs, fan subs out of a sketchy ass guy's van in the parking lot of San Antonio College. So,
Or you were like me and watching episodes of different parts and loading up each part to watch a full episode, and that took at least an hour.
what is this loading up parts? What is this internet? What are you talking about? No, no, no. You watched Gundam. You watched Gundam badly dubbed in Spanish via Univision, and you liked it.
Are you ready for another one of my sins?
Okay, go for it. You may confess,
I'm
my child.
I'm not a huge Gundam fan. I've probably not even finished a whole Gundam series.
That's okay. That's okay. There would have been a time I'd have to tar and feather you, but no, no. With age comes wisdom, and we all like what we like. So that's something I could admit now since we're doing confessions, and this goes with old and new. Um, when Fruits Baskets first came out, I couldn't stand it. Steph's expression right now is priceless. I was like,
Sorry, like
I was like, really? What the hell is this crap? Because that's what it was. I didn't like it, and I didn't like what was the other one that came out about that time? His and Her Circumstances. Because I had like a bunch of friends that were into both, and I think that's what ruined it for me. Like from the get go, I wasn't able to enjoy it and like draw my own conclusions and like connect to the characters because people were just like too much. Um, what was it? What was it? Like a good example was a more modern example was I started reading Homestuck when Homestuck came out. Okay, and I enjoyed Homestuck. It was fine for the first few, I don't know, sessions, seasons. I don't really want to call it. And then like that went away. I got busy. You do other things, whatnot. And then you had everybody cosplay as trolls and that and whatnot at conventions,
Yes.
and they made the Homestuck fandom like trash. I'll say that. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that, but I don't care. Um, if you have to clean out a fountain because some 15-year-olds dressed as Homestuck trolls with their terrible gray makeup with no sealer jump in a fountain on campus, I will call the community trash because at that time the community was trash. But I didn't even know it was. I didn't even know it was like the Homestuck. Like I was like, what's going on? What's this?
Hmm.
And then a lot of people are like, "F Homestuck," because look at this community. That's what happened to me with Fruits Baskets. And it wasn't until much later I was like, no, no, I should give this a fair shot. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people whose opinion is important to me. And then I sat down and watched it. I was like, no, this is actually a really good series. I really like this.
I see that. Like for me, Kirkano kind of, if not started the revolution, was very head on for the revolution of the on off personality and
Okay,
seeing more of it. And it it hits really home because you have these slice of life things that are just cheery and happy versus Kirkano doesn't mind going into the darker stuff of what could be in the relationship.
right.
And I think that's what I like about it. So for me, I kind of feel you on that. Like I don't hype Kirkana up, but it holds a special place in my heart because I did remember reading it and actually thinking liking it, and I was like, oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Uh,
All slice of life should be exactly like Azumanga. I couldn't even say that with his face. I mean, Azumanga Daioh is like one of my favorites.
Azumaya,
Yeah.
yeah. But for me, Fruits Baskets, the original, it did something for me that I don't think very many series do for me now. Is that I watched it anime first, and it made me want to go back to the source material, fall in love with the source material, being part of this fandom, and then so when this reboot happened, I was just hype. I bought
She
tickets to go.
was.
I was. I bought tickets to see the first three episodes in the theater. The dub version was all sold out, so we got the sub, and I was okay with that. And they gave, and I was just like, yes, yes, yes. My poor husband came along with me because he's like, I already know you. I'm just there to be your driver because you don't like driving at night. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
You're like,
And then
thank you.
yeah. And then season two's dub we bought tickets for, and it was just gonna be like
You
so
you touched on something actually that
okay.
old versus new otaku landscape.
Yes.
And we both know a certain friend that's got a lot to say about this, and
Yeah.
maybe they'll shout out us in the comments. But way back when the religious war that was sub versus dub, and I know again we were there, we were on that battlefield.
Mhm.
We both know where that came from because some of the early dubs were terrible.
Yeah.
I can admit to that anyway.
No, 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 no. They are because I've gone back and I've watched some old dubs, and I'm like, oh nope, turn off.
And some of it too, like not to put down the voice actors and actresses, um, some of them did a really good job. It was whatever studio translated it. You had one pile of bad translations, and then another pile of bad voice acting because a lot of the voice actors were just cutting their teeth on this whole anime thing. And then there was the
Mhm.
third pile that was bad voice acting with bad translations. And ooh, buddy, um, sometimes that works. One of my guilty pleasure favorites is Samurai Pizza Cats. And of course, the story of Samurai Pizza Cats was when they brought it over, they didn't even bother translating it. They just wrote a new story to what they saw on the screen.
Mhm.
And that sometimes works, but that's like the golfer that gets a hole in one. That doesn't happen all too often. But nowadays, there are really good translations and there are really good voice actors and actresses. So um, I hate now. I'm in that camp. I personally prefer subs. That's just me. But I'm not going to shit on dubs.
See, I've gone through an evolution. I used to be purely subs because the dubs used to be so trash. And then I think something just happened where I was catching myself watching more dubs. Um, and then all of a sudden
She
I'm
became a
now
degenerate. No.
dubs for what?
What?
You want to start a fight? No, I was gonna say now I catch myself watching more dubs, so it's just more because of laziness. Because I'll be like, oh, okay, now watch me watch a brand new series subbed, and I'll just be on my phone and be like, mm-hmm. And my husband will be like, you're not even watching it. This is brand new. And I was like, yeah, I am. Just multitasking.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna get really really snooty and be like, subs and dubs. It's all about watching the what was it? Watching the source material on the Japanese release, the Japanese Betamax only release. And I only make that joke because a long time ago in a galaxy far far away, when I took Japanese at SAC with Koabe for Christmas, she gave me Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket, the original Japanese release that I have on my media center because yes. So I can be that hipster. Yes,
Uh,
I'm still that hipster, okay? I can agree. That was
you,
Melissa in the background. I don't care. I know what
you,
I'm about.
you are. Okay, there we go. That one.
So yeah, last in our last episode we were talking about how I was going to hit on that again. The in a good way is there's a very good change where nobody it was a combination of not knowing any better. I mean, you should, but the old the old stereotype of the otaku who like doesn't know personal boundaries. Glomps. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat there. Doesn't know basic hygiene. Well, that's still a problem at any convention. Um, but now it's like no, 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 no. We have what's the word I'm looking for? Not rules. We have campaigns like cosplay is not consent and
Yes.
things like that to keep people safe and to tell people no, 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 this is like any other part of the world or of life. You're gonna bleep and behave, or you're
Uh,
not gonna be a part of any of this.
have you also seen that like there's also campaigns of like you need to drink water or like have fluids and eat something?
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
we used to, and as I got older, I increased the number. But we used to do How We Con as a panel, as a beginning panel at Mizumi with
Mm-hmm.
the club members, and my personal one was 311, and then that turned to 411, which is every day a minimum of 4 hours of sleep, one shower, and one actual meal. Paki and Ramune does not equal meal.
Okay.
Two
Okay.
bags of haichu does not equal a meal.
I feel like I'm being called out a
You are
little.
being called out, Steph. Ramen, you can make ramen in a coffee maker for cheap at your hotel room. That's a meal ish. Drink some water with your ramen. You'll be okay.
I don't know. I'm not that bad when I con.
Yeah.
Especially like say in Japan and Mizumi because I'm staff and I get fed,
Hmm.
so that's my workaround.
Shout
But
out to Melissa who cooks all of our Mizumi meals.
yay, we love you. Um, but in my also defense, I have a bunch of snacks
Right.
because you can swap out snacks and swap meat, and you will become everyone's best friend. And actually, that's how you make friends in line for
Oh
panels
yeah.
as well. Like, I've got a water bottle, you've got an orange. Let's just become friends while we're in this hour line. Which everyone's like, hour line. I'm one of those people. If it's a panel I want to see, I'm camping out an hour early.
Oh
I
yeah.
will be one of those first few people. So Uta no Prince Sama, when that movie came for San Japan, I was working. Good thing I was working because I was able to cut the line because I was staff. And I was like, staff line? Yeah. No, no. I was like, I'm going to that. Like, I don't think y'all understand. But I know like when we've gone to PAX, we'll look at the panel list and I'm like, I want to go to this. All right, I have my snacks, I have my entertainment. I will boot scoot. I will like butt scoot to like my neighbors.
I I
I've
I did that at as one of I know I remember it was one of the Acons. My sister was living in Dallas at the time. I used to go to a lot of Acons. Well, I mean, Acon was the place to go in Texas. You know,
hmm
I was able to get a seat at they had a screening. It wasn't a premiere. It was one of those we're going to screen an anime and then have the audience fill out forms to see if we need to change anything
Okay.
for Super Milk Chan.
Okay.
And it was it was a very bad. Not in like bad way like for those that don't know Super Milk Chan, like I think her catchphrase is like you dumbass, or it's it's over the top. Think comedy and along the lines of like Shin Chan,
Oh, okay.
but like to the nth degree is what we watched. And I was like, this is bad. Like, are you all gonna air this? Well, obviously they like didn't, because when it officially came out, they gave us coupons like to buy it, and I bought it and
hmm
I watched it and I was like, this was like super tame in comparison of what we watched. I want my money back. Oh, there's Steph in our own little world again.
Still here.
Oh, oh. I was gonna pull up my notes here, but those aren't my notes. Those are my work notes. I don't need to work.
Mhm.
Talk about that.
I have
So
to apologize for those who can see me because I've been like adjusting my camera ever since I've moved my camera, and I was like, womp womp.
womp womp. That's okay. I will put a motion sickness warning at the beginning of this episode.
That sounds fair.
How else has it changed, Steph?
So it's changed very drastically. So do you want to talk about the merchandising or do you want to talk about the ease of access?
Let's go. Well, we'll continue with ease of access since I started that with the streaming and whatnot.
Okay, so ease of access has definitely changed. And the biggest one who's like no one really talks about the change or like they don't acknowledge that change is Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll once upon a time used to be a pirate site.
Yep.
Now it is the front runner to find good anime. They've got their own con. So somewhere in this change, they went from we got the goods to like we got you, fam. What do you want?
I
You
I've
want?
I've got mixed feelings about that. I've got the like the Batman philosophy over here. You know, you either die a hero or live long enough to be the villain.
hmm Um, so actually, but they did do some stuff because with Crunchyroll being there, it shows that there's a market. So now we have Crunchyroll, we have High Dive, we have Amazon, Netflix, and Funimation here in the States, which is like mind boggling that we have so many different options to watch so much anime. I have my own opinions on certain things being locked on certain things, but
I wrote down a question specifically for you
okay, hit me.
for exactly this, because in the olden days, back when I was a club advisor,
Uh huh.
this was a very easy to do because the market was still small and it wasn't as corporate as it is now.
Uh huh.
But would
Okay.
you like to explain to people how easy or not easy it is now to get viewing rights for all of these new companies like Crunchyroll?
So Crunchyroll, I don't know if they've changed theirs because I think they've changed it a little, or some things have changed. But it used to be once upon a time you would just send them an email that says, "Hey, can we? We're a club. We'd like to have rights to view your stuff," and they would be like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go, fam," and they'd give you a Crunchyroll account. Now I don't know how easy it is.
I don't think it is. I know I've seen the lists, at least for the last Mizumi Con when we were trying to show stuff. The lists from companies that do give lists become smaller and smaller,
Hmm.
and then some companies that used to give lists don't anymore. And
Yeah, I was gonna say Sentai gives out that list, but they have weird restrictions on their list. Like if I were to rank um the weirdest restrictions, Sentai is definitely up there because you have to like own the physical copies, you can't stream it. Um there's certain things that you can't do. Funimation, they give you a list of things that are okay, and Crunchyroll used to be like blank slate, here you go.
right. The two big ones in comparison back in the day, we used to watch a lot of anime from the right stuff. Shout out to Sean.
Hmm.
I doubt you're gonna ever listen to this, but I'll give you a shout out anyway. With the right stuff would be like, so we're thinking about watching these maybe, I don't know. And it was like, here's a handwritten, email that says, Mizumi Anime Club at Our Lake University has the rights to any of these this year for public showings. Boom, the end. Here you go.
Hmm.
Easy peasy. Um, 80 Vision, because it was 80 Vision at the time, was like, okay, if you own it, you can show it. Here's the rights. Just don't fast forward through our previews in the beginning because we want people to buy stuff from us. That was the only restriction. It's
I
like
mean, if
done.
that's good, all right.
Yeah. Every once in a while, they'd send us out a like a teaser like disc, which was an actual like DVD-R that they burned there with like a marker. Like, here's 2 episodes that we haven't put out yet. Tell us what you think. And we threw some commercials on there. Funny story from way back when too. Every semester I would ask the students what they would want to watch so that I could get permission, because without permission you can't advertise you're going to watch something,
Right.
right? So I asked what they wanted to watch, and I'm not going to name any names, but a previous Mizumi president was like, her, we should watch La Blue Girl." And for those that don't know, La Blue Girl is a hentai.
That's what I was gonna say. Isn't that a
That is
hentai?
that is a hentai. Yes, I do own it, so I mean that there's that. But I was like, okay. So I put it on the list and I
Okay.
sent it out. And I got an email, and they were like, so here's your permissions for all these. But you asked for Shoei for La Blue Girl? Aren't you a college university? And I replied back, well, yes, of course. We're a Catholic university on the west side of San Antonio. And they're like, you know what? You know what? We can dig that. So in the binder that I have to give Andy, that's got all the Mizumi stuff, we have perpetual rights to show La Blue Girl because they know we're never gonna show it.
I want to call him on that bet one of these days.
I mean, it won't be any skin off their back, but
Yeah.
so
Be like, yeah,
so
I bet y'all don't think we're gonna do it. Here you go.
I did that. There was the next meeting of that semester. I was like, okay, so I compiled everybody's lists. I got all the things, and I put in a copy of the Blue Girl, and I hit play because it's not. Of course, it's like after the title screen where it starts to get very adult.
Yeah.
But I wanted to play it all the way up to there to see if they were going to say anything, and they did. They're like, Pagonis, yeah, yeah, you're watching You're watching La Blue Girl. Yeah, you asked for it, but we're gonna get in trouble. Well, I'm not gonna get in trouble. It's your name that's written right here. Anyway, sorry. Uh-oh, what's going on? What was that?
Stormy, so it's the gray cat.
Ah. So yeah, yeah. I know that was a
Um,
loaded question, but
no, that's fine because like I have my own frustrations with those lists, but I understand those lists. So those lists, as they get harder and harder, or they get smaller and smaller and more restricted, it makes it very hard to curate the video rooms just going off of those. Because normally when I curate the video rooms, I have from 10 a.m. to 2 in the morning to fill those rooms with whatever anime I can and whatever themes I have going on for those rooms to try to make them flow. So it gets very harder, and I stress out. I promise you. The moment we get the okay, I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I show? What can't I show? Is this show worse than that show? That was actually my struggle. When Isekai Quartet came out,
mm-hmm.
I was like, ReZero, the Saga of Tanya, Overlord, and Konosuba. I actually had to sit there and think, is Tanya worse than ReZero or is ReZero worse than
And
Tanya?
Tanya.
Like for like the amount of stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I can't think on this. I think I ended up going Tanya then ReZero. I think I put ReZero closer to midnight. Just because of technicality, because you see Subaru's death more than you see, like, you see his death be more gruesome than the things Tanya does to her soldiers.
I see.
And that was like a small technicality. I was there like, how do I do this?
Brings me to another question, then and now question. Do
Okay.
you think there's a future for video rooms in conventions?
I still think that they have a special place. I just think that because of the restrictions, it gets very harder to curate them. So for me, video rooms are a place that you can sit and unwind, and you can also kind of get a feel of an anime. So if you're like, you know what, I don't want to commit to it, or it's too hard to find it, video rooms, in my opinion, are just a good place to like sit, turn off your brain, and just possibly find something that you didn't think was going to exist, that was going to be up your alley.
I can dig that.
Yeah. Or if you want to try to convince your parents of like, oh no, this is what I'm in. I promise you, hand on heart, I can't tell you how many times I've seen parents in video rooms be like trying to hit me up, asking me questions of like what's going on. So I think that's also something to like for the little weeblings.
Yeah,
Be like, oh yeah, this is my hero Aka. This is something they can show.
I get that. I get that. And I guess
Mhm.
that brings us to now merchandising.
Yes, so merchandising has definitely changed.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. I can't tell you how long it's. So, I guess I should backtrack a little bit. Back when I was a Weebly in the 2000s, 2010s.
Those were the days.
Mm-hmm. The merchandise that you could find that was licensed was very hard to find. It was extremely expensive. If you wanted to find someone who was in your fandom that was making stuff, you had to pray on your lucky star. And I think the internet exploding as it did helped make merchandising a lot easier because now I can go on Etsy, I can go on Twitter, I can go on someone's Tumblr, even TikTok now, and find someone who makes the stuff. Um, More companies are making merchandise. They know what's selling, which is a good thing. But at the same time, my poor wallet hates me. I there are so many like pins and charms that I want, and I'm like, I can't afford y'all. And then I'll see like they're like, Nyx is really bad about this. Like, oh, we're just dropping this new thing, and I was like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. I don't need it. I will have these conversations with myself. But it's really weird because you have these collabs that didn't exist before. You have name brands like clothing brands collabing with anime, and I think for the people who are in it who can see that they're like they think it's normal, but
Right.
for an outsider,
Oh,
like or even yeah,
but
like taking a step back. Go ahead.
no, no. I was just saying, hold up the camera, like the Color Pop X Sailor Moon collection.
Oh yeah, that I don't have in my room.
Womp womp. I was just it was right here, and it was a good example. So
No, but exactly.
yeah.
So I don't think that would have existed back in the
Oh
day.
no, 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 no. I mean, you'd be lucky to find. So as much as I love my Sailor Moon and series around that time, I didn't start seeing anime goods start to be sold mainstream until Pokemon hit it big.
I can
Pokemon was
understand that.
like the
The the
sil
catalyst.
yeah, the little silver bullet to the market, because it was like, oh, it's cute Pokemon stuff, you could buy officially at Walmart for back to school. And then you started to get other Yu-Gi-Oh and what was that, Bakugan, and I'm trying to think. Uh, but then you had the flow of official merchandise. You could start finding official anime merchandise at Hot Topic. Back, and I know this is going to shock people, but Hot Topic used to be a goth store. Do you
Oh
remember
no,
that?
it did. I do. I remember being like, I'm like, oh, I shop at Hot Topic. Oh, you're such a poser. I'm like, nah. And then like they start having more nerdy stuff. I remember that. Do you? So we were talking about merchandising, and my brain like remembered its horror story of it. So it's a lot easier to find figures now, and
Hmm.
reasonably priced figures, right? Um, about a decade ago, I was dating a different dude, and I liked this dude so much that I dropped half a grand on a guts figure for him.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, we broke up that same month. I'm salty. 10 years later, I'm still salty.
Oof. Big oof energy.
Um, I don't even know if it was actually worth 500, but now I'm just like, I did a quick Google search. Uh, and I was like, man, I am pretty sure I could have found a guts figure for like $40 now.
Right.
But
But I remember those days because I was in a garage kit circle. And again, for those, I think I covered this last episode. Garage kits were, we would all pool money for a very expensive figure, then make a mold out of it, and then make really really poor reproductions between all of us because we could have the figure of the thing that we liked.
mm-hmm. See, now I'm trying to figure out which the figure was, but I'm like, oh well. Yeah, so some people they're like, "What? Steph spent?" And I was like, "Yeah, I spent $500 on a guts figure, and I even flirted to get that thing as a discount." They originally wanted because Franklin wanted like 700 or 600 for it.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Oh, buddy, when you said how much you, yeah, and you said you had a flirt to make it, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. If you hit us up on
mm,
our social media, we can talk to you separately about that. But
so yeah, Oh, what's your Twitter then?
What's my Twitter?
Yeah, if you gave out your Discord, what's your Twitter?
Did I give out my Discord?
Yeah, you did give out your
I did
Discord.
give my Discord. Yeah. No, I didn't. I gave out my Twitch.
Chris's Discord and Twitch are the same.
Wow. Wow. Oh. Oh. Thank you for outing me like that. I feel so much. Friends like this,
Learn to spell, you'll be able to find her.
you know. Actually, I don't even think I have my Twitter out there. I don't do a whole lot on Twitter except for harassing you.
Oh gosh, please don't find me on Twitter. You're just gonna find out how much of a perv I am and how many different fandoms I'm in.
That's okay. I thought I muted all of my servers, but you probably will hear the Discord noise in the background if you're listening to this. Um, going back, actually, yeah, like that sound right now. Going back to what you were saying with merchandise being more prolific in the community, I there was a point where I missed the camaraderie of finding something. Like you'd go to a big convention like ACON or AFest, um, and you'd find one or two artists that made something of the show you liked, and it was like, holy crap, you like Tekkaman Blade? I like Tekkaman Blade. This is awesome, you know. And you'd make a connection there, and you'd make a friendship. And when everything became so corporate, there was less of that. Okay. And yes, at the time we had my age again. We had bulletin boards and we had Usenet groups and stuff like that to talk about our loves. But then Discord took off, and I'm in so many Discord servers. I mean, yes, fandom, but other interests of mine. You know.
It's a weird progression on
Yeah.
that because I think for me it was Gaia,
Mhm.
uh, Twitter and Tumblr, Pinterest, Twitter again, and now Discord.
There you go. My gateway was Zanga. Maybe I'll use that as the thumbnail. Um, then and some people, if you know, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's still around. It was Zanga, and then I was too cool for Gaia. I played and was a part of the Furcadia community. Are you looking that up right now? Do it.
Why did the clickety clacks gotta rat me out?
I mean,
Furcadia is a free to play MMO
that's it.
SG/MMORPG or graphic. Oh my gosh. I'm just looking at this. My brother is older than this by like a few months.
I was playing. I think they had an alpha release, and then it was in beta forever. It might still be in beta. I went
There's this
to
subreddit.
I went to the they had a Furcadia Con in Austin because that's where one of the developers is from. Then after Furcadia, oh, I was on a lot of Usenet groups because we had Usenet for work, and then it
You
was
know the Furcadia subreddit is like dead.
womp womp.
Like 2 days, 8 days, 12 days, 18 days, 20 days.
Hey, it's still got some activity.
No, it's got some
Yeah.
activities, but it's. But you thought you were too cool for Gaia?
I was too cool for Gaia.
Oh man, I loved making like different outfits for my avatar and then being in the threads and hitting like bump to oh my gosh, I spent so much time there. If it wasn't Gaia, it was RuneScape for me.
I liked classic RuneScape. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, see that was more my jam. And then when all my friends got into WoW when WoW first came out, and I was like, I'm gonna play fly for free. Because once a hipster, always a hipster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, we have all these new digital communities, which um I really like, but also I feel that's another. And I hate to say it, as somebody that's on a board of on the board of Mizumi, it's another nail in. Well, no, not really, because we try to move, we try to be organic. It's another
Mm-hmm.
nail in the coffin of the old convention formula, because you don't have to meet your friends in person to talk about your fandoms. Like inside baseball right now, to record this episode, I'm talking to Steph right now on Discord. That we're just capturing the video and the audio from Discord. Back in the day, it'd be like, I'm gonna go see my friend, and we're gonna talk about boys' love in like 3 months when we meet at the convention.
I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts, Riku or Sora? Who's the top? Who's the bottom?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question,
Okay.
but then I'm going to follow it up. Okay, Sora's the bottom. That was a yes, by the way, from Steph. I don't know if the mic didn't catch you.
Because we were looking at the Kingdom Hearts boots,
Yeah,
and it it's one of those things that you could joke about with your friends, but you're like your close friends. You're like, this person's bottom. This person really thought this person was the bottom. But yeah, no, that was just, see, you brought that up of like, oh, you had to wait till the next commission to
yeah,
talk to someone and be like, it's weird because I definitely had friends that I would run into at cons and be like, oh my gosh, like it's so good seeing you again, because technology wasn't there.
yeah.
It wasn't like at that speed because you had to pay for text messages and calls.
Free nights and
Um,
weekends. Woo! You remember those days? I think I
um,
had 250 texts a month or some stupid. Thank you, Prime Co. Back when that was a thing.
so it's weird because technology is just the big factor on that, because technology has blown up these different forms that we can communicate, that we can reach out, that we can grab. These things have definitely blown up.
Like this podcast you're listening to right now.
Yes.
Yes.
um
So yeah, my,
but
my, my quick confession on Kingdom Hearts.
okay.
Same exact confession you made earlier about Gundam. I
Okay.
I do not like Kingdom Hearts. I never got into it. Um, I've read, I've enjoyed plenty of hentai images of Kingdom Hearts, but that's about the extent of my enjoyment.
It's okay. That's okay. That's 100% okay. This is a no judgment zone. Yeah, yeah, that's 100%
Yeah,
okay.
leave my JRPGs alone, Disney. You've already messed up everything. I didn't say that. Who said that? But yeah, no,
Uh,
no. But you're completely right though. Technology has changed the playing field completely.
it has. It's like a weird thing because I can say that I'm part of this fandom and I think it's small because I'm like, oh, of course you get the maker. So I'm going to use the Arcana for example. And I'm thinking, oh, it's small, it's whatever. And I can go to a convention and I'm like, okay, I'll tell a friend, hey, keep an eye out for this, let me know. And sure enough, I think I saw like two Arcana pins, like, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah. And then like you're surprised, and then the artist is like, yeah, and y'all end up talking, and then it's sharing social medias, and then you follow that person, and it just becomes a bigger rabbit hole before you know,
Right.
and you're like, oh my gosh, because I remember looking at Artist Alley, I think it was San Japan, and someone had mentioned something. And I was like, oh, what's this? And they're like, you could see the joy in their eyes of like, I get to talk about this to
It's like
another real
yes.
life person instead of like online.
Uh,
But it was for a web a web novel, and it's actually really good. I think it's like it's gonna bother me because I have the little card what it is, and it's like a Chinese web novel because it's not like Korean or Japanese.
right.
I'll find it. I'll get back to you. But yeah, just seeing the joy of like real life interaction because it's weird now that I can go on Twitter and I can search whatever tags and random
Boom.
people are
Yeah.
yeah. Or I can go on TikTok and see other people making memes of things in that fandom.
I used to I used to be and we have other friends that have said this too. Um where you would have somebody to be like I'm going to use the trope here like hey, I don't know if you've ever seen this series called Dragon Ball Z, but you should totally watch it because it's a great series. And like, it's like everybody knows like Dragon Ball is an institution. But
Hmm.
now, as opposed to way back when, there are so many series. I can easily believe somebody overlooking a more popular series. You know,
And and that's something that we can definitely touch upon another episode is like the gatekeeping parts.
oh buddy, that's an episode into itself.
Yes, because once upon a time, if you didn't watch these animes, how can you say that you were an anime fan? Because we were still limited on the animes that we were exposed to. These were the greatest hits in a sense.
Right.
So um, I still get a little like when I see like these anime recommendations and it's older animes, and I'm like, how are you presenting to me? They're like these animes that are slept upon or no one talks about. I'm like because they're so old.
Why do you have to call me out like that?
This is a dying ship, and if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
I mean, okay, that's fair enough.
Best friends forever.
Big heart. Make my camera heart. Oh, there we go. Yeah, oh yeah, perfect. At least we didn't do that heart peace sign thing. That's always terrible. But no, like the audio only peeps. I'm sorry, you didn't you missed that entirely. Um, but yeah, no, with gatekeeping, which we will cover later. If you thought sub versus dub was a religious war, how about anime versus manga? And God forbid if you're like me and you're in the audio drama CD group. Hashtag. Does anybody remember audio dramas?
Do you want to know the pain of like being in a fandom, finding an audio drama, but no one has translated it? And here I am with my like broken beginner Japanese trying to figure out what's going on.
Midnight Confessions. One of the reasons why I took Japanese in college.
I was about to say right there. I'm like, I found Digimon audios, and I'm like, I really want to know what's going on, but I kind of don't know what's going on.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's why like if I go back to school, I'm gonna be a weeb and just be like, I'm gonna learn Japanese. What for? I'm gonna be honest. There's a whole bunch of anime and mangas and just a whole bunch of media that I want to consume. I want the knowledge to consume it.
Truth be told, that didn't work a whole lot well for me,
Okay.
only because the language is involved. Like, yes, you get basic stuff down, but like
Hmm.
my first semester was like Japanese for business transactions, which doesn't convert to the fandom, you know, unless you're watching one of those more obscure. Well, actually, no. I say more obscure. What was the? Oh, I've got to look it up real fast before we go. It's come on. Master Keaton. There you go. Master Keaton is an anime about an insurance adjuster who solves crimes. It is a good anime. I have some on DVD. It's late 90s. It was like 40. I want to say it was like 40 episodes. And that's only because Kawabe pointed me in that direction because I was kind of like bummed. I'm like, I can't use any of these skills to watch my anime. And she was like, "Well, you're watching the wrong anime." And that,
I
that that makes
mean,
that makes Kawabe the best Japanese teacher. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But with that, we're coming up to an hour 15, and Steph may turn into a pumpkin.
I'm already turning into a pumpkin.
Steph may turn into a pumpkin latte.
Then I have to run. I don't have the energy because that means white girls are gonna find me because I'm not ready to be a pumpkin spice latte.
Not yet, anyway.
No.
But yeah, so we will see you in the next episode. I'm Chris,
I'm Steph.
and this is
Baka
Baka. We're
doing it
doing it
live.
live. Bye, y'all.
Bye.